Welcome along to the At the Races web preview of the Baylis and Harding Affordable Luxury Handicap Chase. It's a Grade 3 contest run on the Tuesday of the festival over a trip of the extended 3 miles, half a furlong. Now we're going to get the thoughts very shortly of our studio guest Paul Jones, who's the author of the Weatherby's Cheltenham Festival Betting Guide. But first, here's a look at some of the main contenders in action.
Green flag still with a narrow lead, but a good leap by Streams of Whiskey, but he come down. He good jumped it fine, just came down a bit steep and has left Green flag clear. An unfortunate fall when with every chance. Green flag steadied into the last. Green Wizard is 10 lengths down and Green flag is over from Green Wizard in second, Scotswell in third. The race was still in the balance when Streams of Whiskey capsized 2 from home, but Green flag will remain unbeaten over fences. His jumping really sound for a novice.
Approaching the final fence, extending the advantage. Tranquil Sea then at the last. Over it safely from Time for Rupert. Big fella thanks Son of Flicker rallying. Then McMurrough and Arkin. Tranquil Sea though galloping on strongly and has the old boys measure in behind. Time for Rupert keeping on doggedly. But Tranquil Sea under a patient and confident ride from Gavin Sheehan is back in the winner's enclosure. Ease close home. Tranquil Sea beats Time for Rupert and McMurrough.
Now just come down towards 2 out. He's cleared that okay as the leader. Jumps the last well. And Cantlow 4 lengths clear is pricking in front. Dare Me has no more to offer. One Inner Milan just coming to the final fence now. He's over safely. Dark Oasis still coming down to the last, but Cantlow is 8 lengths clear as it begins its journey inside the final half furlong. Dare Me in second, accepting the situation out Aidan Coleman. And inside the final 50 yards now it's Cantlow who will follow up the recent Plumpton win for his second success over fences. 139 for the season for AP.
Well, this is the big handicap chase on the Tuesday. Lots of horses to look at. It's a race which has really been improving in terms of the quality of horses lining up. Paul Jones, our guest in the studio, to take a closer look at some of that form. And you're the author not only of the Weatherby's Cheltenham Festival Betting Guide, but also the Stats Guide on the At the Races website. And this is a race which has some pretty strong trends.
It's a strong trends race, yeah. The last 14 winners were rated no higher than 143, which is very strong. That said, 4 of the last 6 were rated 142 or 143, so I think
at the top end of that.
Yeah, yeah. You know, if I wouldn't be put off if something's rated 145 or 146, for example. The 150s, no, I'd forget those. We have to go back to 1983 to find the last one of those. But yes, that's a very strong trend. Front Four and the betting have a very good record as well. It's a good race to get involved in for a punter.
So let's get stuck into some of the form. We'll start with Green Flag, who we saw there winning at Newcastle, a horse that stays really well. He stepped up on his 3 wins over fences to run in the Feltham, finished second that day to Anacotti. Is there a concern over the ground for him though? Does he need it soft, Paul?
I don't know if he needs it soft. I mean, he does look a doer stayer in the making, so he might give that impression. He is. After he was second to Anacotti, I thought he might be more of one for the National Hunt Chase, Scottish National. But it's interesting, they never bothered entering him for the National Hunt Chase, just the RSA and this handicap. And I think they just take the view he wasn't suited to Kempton because he is a strong stayer. And that trip was a little bit sharp for him. And he's a novice, and the novices have got a great record in this race. 3 of the last 10 have won, would have been 4 if Benslem hadn't fallen. And he is rated bang on 143, so he makes a lot of appeal for me. He's trained by Lucinda Russell, whose horses generally outrun their odds at the Cheltenham Festival. Brindisi Breeze being a good example. Yeah,
he ticks a lot of boxes, that's for sure. Is it a worry? I noticed one of your stats, you prefer a horse with some previous festival form. Would that be a concern?
Not really. I just think that's an extra positive if you've got it. I wouldn't rule out a horse because it's not got any previous festival form. One that has, of course, is Time for Rupert, who was second in the World Hurdle. Here he is finishing second in a veterans chase. Chief Dan George was a 10-year-old when he won this race, so I'm not that fussed that he is 10. I thought this was a really good run, actually. It was only 4 starts ago. He was 5th in the Gold Cup, and he's dropped down to 138. Now, if he's not going to get back to his best, but I certainly think he can run to a higher mark than 138. And you know, he likes the track as well. I know he disappointed in the RSA, but he looked pretty good when he won the novice chase there earlier in the season during his novice career. And I think for a little bit of an older horse, I think he can go well at a big price. He might be forgotten.
Yeah, he's got 3 wins at Cheltenham on the board and off 138. The handicapper definitely giving Time for Rupert a chance. One who might not have a chance on the handicap is Paul Webber's other runner, Cantlow. I think it's on 151. So on that stat, does he get ruled out?
I couldn't back him off. You know, we're going back over 30 years for a horse last won the race off such a high handicap mark. It looks like this is the horse the JP McManus team have decided to run in this race, as Shut the Front Door wasn't declared at the 6-day stage. Cause of causes, maybe he might go for the Kim Muir. Cantlow was anti-post favourite for this race for most of last season, and then they surprised a few at the declaration stage by going for the Byrne Group Plate instead. Unfortunately, he couldn't run there because he was withdrawn at the start through veterinary advice, and he's won at Newbury this season. He was second in the December Gold Cup. He looks like a horse who's going to improve for the step up from 2.5 to 3, given he was placed in a per attempts final as well. Yeah, he's interesting. Apart from the handicap mark, that's just what rules me out.
Is his jumping a bit of a concern? He puts the odd mistake in time to time.
I think over 3 miles that will help him a little bit more, give him a bit more time in his fences. Yeah, I think he'll run well. I personally couldn't back him off 151.
OK, we won't know at this stage which horses will make the lineup, but at the time of recording, we've spoken about the 3 in detail. Your idea
I like
of the
Green
winner?
Flag. I think he'll run well.
Green Flag for Lucinda Russell is the pick for Paul Jones in the Baylis and Harding Affordable Luxury Handicap Chase on Tuesday.